Festival's tidings, Dark Crusaders. This upload marks the 30th iteration of the daily endeavors in ESO Like a Pro series on Vampiric ESO. To those that had faith I'd still be making these by episode 30, I thank you. I'm Vampiric, and I'm about to show you in around 4.5 minutes how to quickly accomplish the easiest daily endeavors. Lots of info here. I suggest enabling closed captioning. Here are the available daily endeavors. I've marked 3 I've chosen for today in red that can be completed by anyone above level 10 in under an hour. If you're a lower level and want to reach level 10 today so you can run a dungeon, you can refer to my brief leveling guide that covers reaching level 6 and can easily be used to reach level 10 by putting a little more time in. The link to the leveling guide from episode 20 will be in the upper right for PC viewers or in the description, and you should skip to chapter 3. If you're level 10 and up but don't have blacksmithing materials to craft with, you'll need the add-on ResourceRadar to search for ore efficiently. It's a great add-on to have regardless of endeavors and makes finding resources a piece of Jubilee cake. If you're not familiar with how to install an ESO add-on, refer to the video linked in the upper right for PC viewers or in the description. After installing, for today's route you should log your favorite character for combat that's above level 10, preferably a tank or a healer, and immediately queue for a dungeon. For some, this will be the most time-consuming challenge today, with queue times for DPS rolls sometimes reaching 20 minutes plus. You can queue for one by pressing P, clicking Dungeon Finder, then clicking Join Queue. The queue system can be kinda buggy, so if you're on a tank or a healer and don't get in a dungeon after around 3 to 5 minutes, try leaving the queue and joining again on the same page. If you're on a DPS roll and have great survivability, I suggest trying your hand at soloing the dungeon Fungal Grotto 1 west of Iliath Temple Wayshrine in Stone Falls to avoid the queue times. The dungeon has weaker enemies than most, and by taking the shortcut about halfway through, some can accomplish this in less than 10 minutes. I don't recommend trying this for new players or those not yet comfortable with their ability rotations. After completing a dungeon, for those on the North America PC server with a good supply of blacksmithing and style materials, I would skip to the next chapter. For others, if you need blacksmithing materials and don't have your own lore books to read, I suggest traveling to Matheson Wayshrine at the Blue Star near Central Oregon. If you need a Wayshrine unlocked, ask someone in Zone to take you. There's a good concentration of blacksmithing materials a short distance southwest, quite a few lore books to read nearby, and the town Skywatch to the northeast has a pretty easy to find blacksmithing merchant and station to craft at later. When arrived, at the lowest blacksmithing level, you'll need to gather 20 raw iron to guarantee you've got enough to craft 5 daggers, which are the cheapest blacksmithing item to craft. ResourceRadar enjoyers will find the gathering of blacksmithing materials here simple, given they can ping nearby spawned resources on their compass. You should also search the locations marked here by book icons along the way and read at least 2 lore books. It's important to note that some of the lore books shown here are duplicates, and if you've read one at a location shown, others nearby shown with the same cover won't be accessible for you. Sometimes you need to judge a book by its cover. After collecting your needed ore and reading 2 lore books, head to the town Skywatch marked in red northeast of the original Wayshrine to do some blacksmithing. After arrival, proceed along the red path through the town to the blacksmithing station and merchant at the Gold Star. First, speak with the merchant to sell any loot that isn't a blacksmithing or style material, then check if you own any basic style materials by hovering over those for sale. Your owned amount will show in the upper right of the box that appears, and if you don't have 5 you can part with, purchase as needed. Then use the station, click the Refine tab, select your gathered materials and refine them for use in crafting. Next, click the Creation tab, select the boxes Have Items and Have Knowledge at the top, select Dagger from Weapons, your desired ingot and style, select No Trade at the bottom, set the quantity to 5 and craft to complete the final challenge. This next portion of the guide is meant for those on the North America PC server that have a good supply of expendable blacksmithing and style materials. I've placed a link to a personal property of mine with readable lore books and a blacksmithing station within on the recruitment page for the guild Thorns Raiders, meaning anyone on this server that isn't in the guild can use the guild finder to search for the guild and visit the property without joining by clicking the golden link. I'm trying to give you guys as easy a time as possible with the endeavors today. The blacksmithing station is in my little crafting room to the left when entering the main structure, and I'll assume since you're viewing this chapter you know how to use it to complete the blacksmithing challenge. The lore books are on a shelf in the center of the main hall and can be used as any lore book in the world can to complete the lore book challenge. If you can't access the guild finder and have friends on the server who can, I suggest grouping with them, having them visit the property and then teleporting to them. Anyone with no possible way to access the property should watch the previous chapter for a guide anyone can use. Hopefully this guide offers you an easier endeavor day. Don't forget to hit the like button if you found these methods helpful, and save the playlist for easier access. Subscribe to Vampiric ESO for more ESO content, and let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to most in the Witches Festival. Wishing you well and much to be grateful for this sun's dusk. Until next time, see you in Tamriel.